problems involving variation. Ngayon ay nasa quarter 2, module 2 ng ating module sa Mathematics 9. So, let us have examples. Unahin muna natin dito sa direct variation. So, dito kailangan ay napanood nyo yung aking previous video regarding solution of equation. Yung pagsusulat ng equation regarding sa mga statements na inilalabas or sinasabi na given. Okay, let us have our first problem. Find the constant of variation if y varies directly as x and y equals 51 when x equals 3. Step 1, equation. Kuha tayo ng equation batay sa sinabi na phrase y varies directly as x. So, ang ating equation, y equals kx. Yan yung ating previous lesson na pinag-aralan. Tapos, step 2 na tayo. Substitute the values and solve for the value of k. So, y is equal to kx. 51 equals 3k. Divide both sides of equation by 3. K equals 3. Number 2, if y varies directly as x and y equals 15 when x equals negative 5, find y when x equals 7. Step 1, equation. Y varies directly as x. Equation will become y equals kx. Number 2, substitute the values and solve for k. 15 equals negative 5k. Divide both sides by negative 5. Divide both sides of equation by negative 5. 15 divided by negative 5, k equals negative 3. Step 3, find y when x equals 7 using k equals negative 3. Using the same equation, y equals kx, y equals negative 3 times 7, y equals negative 21. Problem number 3. If P varies directly as Q and P equals 25 when Q equals 5, what is the value of P when Q equals 16? First step, equation pa rin. Kunin natin yung phrase na P varies directly as Q. P is equal to K times Q. Step 2, substitute the values and solve for the value of K. Ang values natin na kinuha is P equals 25 when Q equals 5. 25 equals 5K. Divide both sides of equation by 5. K is equal to 5. Step 3. Find P when Q equals 16 using K equals 5. P is equal to 5 times 16. Yung pangalawang phrase ang ginamit natin. So, yung K is equal to 5, Q equals 16, P is equal to 5 times 16, P equals 80. Punta naman tayo sa inverse variation. Question number 1. If y varies inversely as x and y equals 3 when x is equal to 2, find the constant of variation. Step 1, equation. Y varies inversely as x. Pag inverse variation, yung second variable ay naka-over sa k. Y equals k over x. Step 2, substitute the values and solve for k. So, y equals 3 and x is equal to 2. 3 equals k over 2. 3 times 2, k equals 6. Bakit times? Kasi multiply both sides of equation by 2 para mawala yung denominator na 2 sa k over 2. 3 times 2, 6. Find y when x equals 2, using k equals 6. Substitute na natin sa original equation, y is equal to k over x, y equals 6 over 2. 6 divided by 2, y equals 3. Problem number 3, suppose A varies inversely with B when B equals 4 and A equals 1 half. Find A when B equals 18. Step 1, equation. A varies inversely as B. A equals K over B. Step 2, substitute the values and solve for the value of K. 1 half equals K over 4. Multiply both sides of equation by 4 para mawala yung denominator na 4. So, this will become K equals 4 over 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. K equals 2. Step 3. Find A when B equals 18 using K equals 2. Substitute natin yung nakuha nating value ng K, which is 2, at yung pangalawang value ng B, which is 18. A is equal to 2 over 18. Simplify natin. A equals 1 over 9. Punta naman tayo sa mga problems involving joint variation. Number 1. Find the constant of variation when A varies jointly as B and C, and A equals 36 when B equals 3 and C equals 4. Equation muna natin, A equals K, B, C. Kinuha natin yon sa A varies jointly as B and C. Substitute 36 equals 3 times 4 times K. Simplify natin yung 3 times 4, which is 12. 36 equals 12K. Divide both sides of equation by 12. 36 divided by 12 equals 12K over 12. This will resulting to K equals 3. Problem number 2, joint variation. Say varies jointly as x and y. If z equals 16 when x is equal to 4 and y equals 6, find z when x equals 2 and y equals 3. Siyempre, kung sumulat muna tayo ng equation galing sa say varies jointly as x and y. Next, say equals kxy. Substitute natin yung mga naunang values using say equals 16, x equals 4, and y equals 6. 16 equals 4 times 6 times k. 4 times 6 is 24. Divide both sides of equation by 24. 16 over 24 equals 24k over 24. Simplify natin yung 16 over 24, which is 2 over 3. Yun ang ating value ng k. Substitute naman natin ang pangalawang values ng x and y. Say equals 2/3 times 2 times 3. Gamitin ulit natin yung x equals 2, y equals 3, and yung k is 2/3. Multiply natin yung 2 times 2, 4 times 3, 12 over 3. Say is equal to 12 over 3. Say is equal to 4. Problem number 3. U varies jointly as B and W. If U equals 3, B equals 3, and W equals 15, find U when B equals 6 and W equals 9. First, gamitin muna natin yung equation na U equals KBW. Galing siya dito sa U varies jointly as B and W. Next, substitute natin when if u equals 3, v equals 3, and w equals 15. 3 equals 3 times 15 times k. 3 times 15 is 45. So 3 equals 45k. Divide both sides of equation by 45. 45k over 45 equals 3 over 45. Divide natin both numerator and denominator by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 45 divided by 3 is 15. K is equal to 1 over 15. Next, find U when B equals 6 and W equals 9. Gamitin natin yung value ng K which is 1 over 15. B equals 6, W equals 9. U equals 1 over 15 times 6 times 9. 6 times 9 times 1 is 54. Divided by 15. Ilo-lowest term na lang natin to, 54 divided by 15. U is equal to 18 over 5. Yung 54 ay dinivide sa 3 which is 18 and 15 dinivide naman sa 3 which is 5. U equals 18 over 5. Y varies directly as x, square of x, and inversely as c. X equals 2, y equals 1, and z equals 10. Find y when x equals 4 and z equals 5. Equation natin, y equals kx squared over c. Galing siya sa y varies directly as square of x and inversely with c. Substitute natin yung x equals 2, y equals 1, c equals 10. 1 equals k times 2 squared over 10. 2 squared is 4. 1 equals 4k over 10. Multiply both sides by 10. 10 equals 4k. Divide both sides of equation by 4. K equals 10 over 4 or 5 over 2. Find y when x equals 4 and z equals 5. 5 over 2 times 4 squared all over 5. 4 squared is 16 times 5 over 2 over 5. 16 times 5, 80 divided by 2, 40 all over 5. Y equals 40 over 5. Y equals 8. H varies directly as m and inversely as n. H equals 14 when m equals 7 and n equals 3. Find h when m equals 4 and n equals 8. Equation, h equals km over n. Galing siya dito sa if h varies directly as m and inversely as n. H equals km over n. Substitute, h equals 14, m equals 7, and n equals 3. 14 equals k times 7 over 3. Multiply both sides of it. 14 times 3 equals 7k. 14 times 3, 42 equals 7k. Divide both sides of equation by 7. 42 divided by 7, k equals 6. Find h when m equals 4 and n equals 8. Same equation pa rin. H is equal to km over n. K is equal to 6 times m equals 4. 6 times 4 over 8. 6 times 4 is 24 divided by 8. H equals 3. Last, if y varies directly as x and inversely as z, and x equals 6, y equals 4, and z equals 3, find y when x equals 15 and z equals 10. using the equation y equals kx over c. Galing siya sa y, varies directly as x, and inversely as c. Substitute natin yung x equals 6, y equals 4, and c equals 3. 4 equals k times 6 over 3. Multiply both sides of equation by 3. 4 times 3 over 6k na lang. 4 times 3 is 12. Equals 6k. Divide both sides of equation by 6. K is equal to 2 because of 12 over 6. Find y when x equals 15 and c equals 10. Using the same equation, substitute the value of k, which is 2, x equals 15 and c equals 10. 2 times 15 over 10. Y is equal to 30 over 10. Y equals 3. Sasagutan po yung exercises A, B, and C na nasa bond paper na nakaseros. Thank you for watching.